Alright, guys. I want to talk about a character today. A character that I really like. A character I use a lot on JP. Who is real fucking good. Really strong. And I feel like is
phony.
Never, like, talked about. Nobody ever brings her up, and I never see her on people's support lists. And it might just be because she shows up once, and then again 2 years later, and then never again. She's an incredibly rare servant. But her event is coming up here soon on NA, so while I'm probably not going to do this for the Rats or for Super Bunyan, I do want to talk today about Mary Anning. Mary Anning is the character that's going to be in the friend point gacha, who most of you are probably going to use to farm servant coins. That way you can turn them into grails every month, which honestly, respectable. Do what you gotta do. I highly recommend that people roll and level her skills once she comes up. So Mary Anning is a 1-star Lancer. AoE Arts Lancer that will be coming up here with the Learning with Manga collaboration event. So for anybody who's just not seen it all, let's look at her art first. We'll keep with the tradition. Can she loop though? I think that she can. But I've never looped with her because that's not what you want to do with her. I'll get into all that here in a sec. Let's look at her art first. So it's Rio art. I really like her art style. I know some people are not hype on Rio's art style because it's very cartoony and different, but I like it. Tig mentioned the scrungly ass dog in the back, but yeah, it's good. This is how she looks in Learning with Manga. She's got the hat, got the scarf, still a scrungly ass dog. She's cute. I like her a lot. Then she gets fancy with it. Got the dinosaurs. Her horn bun things turn into octopods. There's a bunch of dinosaurs killing each other in the background, as they should be, and her dog is now made of bread, as it should be. And then, one of my favorite FAs in the game. So cute, so wholesome, I love it. It's nice. So, her base stats, she's a 1-star, so don't expect these to be good. Max attack, 5,574. Max HP, 7,194. This is very clearly the stats of somebody who is a support. Right? You would hope so, at least, right? Right? Then she got Quick Arts, Buster. Pretty good. It's standard deck. 3 hits on all of them, 5 hits on her extra. It's just fine. But why am I so willing to defend a 1-star servant like this? That's coming out that a lot of people don't mention. Well, let's talk about what she actually does. So first, she has a Charisma skill, Charisma of the Sea Lilies. It's at max, 15% up for female and gender unknown for their attack, 15% up for their arts, and then a 10% NP gain for the whole party, regardless. Oh no, that is for gender unknown and female. So that's kind of the thing that I think that people kind of bring up against her most of the time, is that she only really works in situations. Well, she only works effectively in situations where she's with females or gender unknown characters. That's not that bad, because think of how many characters in this game are female or gender unknown and also arts. It's a lot. So you'll have reasons to bring her. I mean, the 15% attack up is just okay. It's not a 20% like an A+ charisma, but the arts up on it's good, and then the NP gain up on it is also good. It's a decent skill. Then there's this one. Fossil Lady's Great Discovery. Make 30 stars, 4-turn cooldown. Deals 500 damage to self, which is negligible, genuinely. Yeah, 4 turns, 30 stars, which is not a small number. You do that, you pop that, and you're pretty much guaranteeing that people are going to be critting for that turn. Whoever your main DPS is, they're pretty much going to be guaranteed to crit. At base, level 1, make 20 stars on a 6-turn cooldown. I mean, it's not great doing that, but it's still just like, if you just need to have her like make 20 stars, you could. But then 4-turn cooldown 30 stars, it's pretty good. That comes in handy a lot. Third skill, Business Sense. It is an AoE drain, not chance-based, AoE drain. It's going to happen. You're going to drain them. and then a 10% charge for the party, and then crit up 30% for 3 turns. So it's, you take away a chunk, you give 10% to your party, and then you do 30% crit damage for 3 turns. It's pretty fucking good. And then her NP is an AoE arts, increases her arts card effectiveness before damage, deals damage, and then applies a buff block 1 time on every enemy that it hits. Not a percent chance one. It's going to do it unless they have something that prevents them from receiving debuffs, which fucks up a lot of challenge quests or more challenging content, because characters are going to try and spam an ability and then they're just like, nope, can't do it. Mary Anning hit you with her thing. And she gets her NP back decently well. It's not fantastic, but her own kit helps her get that shit back really well. Yeah, no, she's solid. She's very solid. It's so weird. She is a unit who is almost better ungrailed, because her entire kit screams this. This is how you want to use Mary Anning in most cases. She works better in incredibly short fights, where you bring her, you dump her entire kit, hit her NP, and then have her die. Get one shot by a boss. And then everyone else on your team benefits. So the way how I've usually tended to use her is that I use her alongside other characters. Like, she's a support. Through and through, she's a support. You're going to want to use her with characters that are arts, female, or gender unknown. And immediately you have the competition of just like, okay, well, why am I not just going to use double cast story? It's like, well, okay, there are situations where you can't. For example, I used her with the Flame Olga thing, supporting Melusine, and using her as a Melusine support who benefits insanely well from all of the things that she does. It just makes Melusine go crazy. Like, situations where you are going to need a character who's not the most meta character because you want to save those for later, or even then, just like, you just need someone who has buff block on their NP and also supports people along with it. Like, if you're going to play the card that there's already better arts supports, like, you know what, you're right, there are. Like, Yui exists, for instance, or Castoria exists, or Lady Avalon. Those are all better choices by far. And I'm not going to deny that. I mean, she's a 1-star servant. However, she's also a 1-star servant, which means low-ass cost to bring her. You can just bring her. You can give her, like, a K-scope or something. You can give her a normal, non-max limit broken K-scope. You can use... You're going to have the coins for it. Just unlock her one append. Use her her third skill. Use that, throw her at somebody with their NP, give the buff block, pop all of her skills, and then bail. Just have her die. Let her get hit by like an AoE NP or something and have her die. She is relatively versatile. I use her in a lot of content on JP. And she's really good. I like her. I like her a lot. She has a really, really strong kit for being a 1-star. Why does she count as a Lancer? Rio did this. So I was talking with somebody about this in my Discord, and their argument against why you should not bother with her is because Zhu Fu exists, and Zhu Fu is a better unit. Now, that's true to a degree. It's true that they're both art supports that are low budget. I think the key difference is that you want to bring Mary Anning in a situation where the fight is either going to be over quickly or where she can die pretty quickly to be replaced by somebody else. And if she doesn't die, she's still pretty useful because of all of her skills on a relatively short cooldown. It's a 5, a 4, and a 6. But like these two, having her survive for just another, 4 turns, pop it again, extra 30 stars, pretty good. Zhu Fu takes a little bit longer to get going, but otherwise, if you know you're going to be in a longer fight, Zhu Fu's a better choice. Have her with outrage so that she's instantly cycled out. I mean, there's ways that you can do it. Just like have her be like guaranteed that she's out afterwards. I mean, but her stats are already so low that if you bring her to content where you know that's just like an AoE Berserker, AoE Saber, or just anybody like that, pretty much anybody other than an archer can probably take her out in like just 1 or 2 hits. which is honestly to her benefit, which is a weird thing to think about. Just like, it's okay for her to die and be replaced because she just drops all of this good shit on you and then bails instantly after. Esports ending is real. Yeah, no, genuinely, you can do that. You can do that, and that's a viable thing to do for her. I would recommend having one that's like maxed out for if you do want it to be in longer content as well. But like, I don't know. I use her in a lot of stuff. Her kit is insanely powerful and versatile. I think her biggest issue is the fact that you have to compete with Castoria, and you're never gonna win that if your opponent is Castoria. It's just not gonna happen. I forget what this does. Well, let's take a look at this real quick. It's probably crit damage up. Let me see. Arts up. Honestly, it's not bad that's not bad. She's strong. I like her a lot. I want her to be... I really am just making this video so I can put her on the radar, to let people know what she actually does. Because I feel like a lot of people just completely forget that she exists. Because, again, she shows up in the one collab and then vanishes. Doesn't come back for another year and like 3 quarters, and then vanishes again. So she's hard to get. She's rare. But her kit, it's pretty good. It's pretty solid. It's definitely someone who you should have maxed out in your Chaldea, because, well, it's not exactly going to be the servant that you always whip out for every situation like a Castoria or anybody like that. There are situations where you're going to want a low-cost unit just because they're a low-cost unit who can put in that much effort. That's my thing with her. She's great. She's a great unit that people forget exists. I want you all to have her leveled. Take care of your tragic rock lesbian.